Up until now in 2019, we haven't witnessed many bright stars in the business simulation game genre. As we enter the last quarter of the year, our hope is at its peak as we expect the releases of the long-awaited games that could possibly save 2019 from failure. Welcome to HDPLAY. I'm Ivy and you're watching 5 simulation games in the last quarter of 2019. 10 years on from the birth of the idea, Polish studio Kraken Unleashed successfully raised money on Kickstarter earlier this year to release their game CROSSROADS on the market. The game will feature medieval music composed by Michael Gambik's team, also in charge of the music of the legendary game The Witcher 3. CROSSROADS is a real-time management fantasy simulation with RPG elements, which will be supported with 2 game modes. Sandbox mode, in which players will focus on building, hiring, cooking, serving, and on the micromanagement of their medieval tavern. And campaign mode, that will make micro-segmentation less important, as the player will need to focus on building political relationships between factions and solving dangerous quests inspired by the RPG game. Depending on the player's moves, his allies, and the quests he solves during the game, the campaign can have up to 12 different endings. And if that doesn't meet the player's needs, there's an in-game editor that will allow you to completely modify the game according to your own needs and create campaigns, scenarios, and adventures. The game will be available in 2 different editions, as Collector's and as Standard Edition. CROSSROADS will be released on the 23rd of October 2019 on the following PC, Linux, Mac platforms via the Steam and GOG store. After successfully launching the Planet Coaster game on the market and the less successful Zoo Tycoon, Frontier decided to introduce its 3rd tycoon simulation, the Planet Zoo. Again, players will have the opportunity to enjoy in the beautiful 3D Cobra engine graphics, as they could in the Planet Coaster. Planet Zoo is a single-player construction and management simulation game in which the player will have the opportunity to build their zoo with 50 different species of animals that will have their own feelings, needs, mentality, and will be exploratory tailored to the space built for them. Each animal will have unique genes that will be the subject to modification in age, size, health, and reproduction. It will be the duty of the player to study each species individually, so they could transmit better genes as best as possible through crossbreeding and reproduction. Players will be able to experience a global campaign with missions, or play sandbox mode and enjoy complete freedom while running their wild park. Planet Zoo will be available in 2 versions, the classic and the deluxe version of the game, which will include, in the addition to bonus music and wallpaper, 3 exclusive animals: Pygmy Hippopotamus, Thompson's Gazelle, and Komodo Dragon. The game officially comes out on November 5th and will only be available on the Microsoft Windows platforms for now. Buildings have feelings too. This fall, Blackstaff Games, the Belfast studio in charge of many animations and interactive games, comes out with their latest project, game Buildings Have Feelings Too. Inspired by the rich history of Belfast and its architecture, this indie city management game introduces us to a world where the main characters are buildings and structures. The idea that every building has its own opinion and feeling, the characteristics of a normal person, is certainly something new on the gaming market. Players will have the opportunity to start playing from the Victorian era and progress to the modern age by improving and siding with other neighborhoods, while building friendly relationships and meeting the needs between buildings and faculties. Buildings Have Feelings Too will be released on the 30th November 2019 on Microsoft Windows in early 2020 for Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. After developer studio Intermerum released the game Race to Mars, which was accepted negatively by the players, they present their latest creation, Space Company Simulator. This realistic simulation with fantastic graphics takes players straight into the management of a space industry. The player's role as CEO is to responsibly and securely launch new rockets, satellites, and spacecrafts, train their employees to become space geniuses, improve research work, and create new technology for each mission to succeed, as well as to bid new winning contracts to provide their company with profits and secure advancement to the very top of the space industry. The game is made exclusively for Microsoft Windows, and players will have the opportunity to try it while it's still in early access from October 24th. Following the successful launch of Train Fever and its even more successful sequel to Transport Fever, Urban Games is also getting a third installment of this franchise called Transport Fever 2. This realistic single-player transport simulation this time spans 3 campaigns across 3 continents and across 20 hours of gameplay, as well as free play mode with endless options for different settings and configurations. The game begins in the early 1850s and goes back to the modern era, with 200 different vehicles, counting cars, buses, planes and ships from Europe, Asia and America, crafted to the smallest detail. The player will aim to make a real transport empire around the world. Players will also have the option of creating landscapes with as many as 3 different climate zones: moderate, dry, and tropical. The novelty of the game is the detail in realistic physical lighting. Players will be able to achieve 50 achievements in free play mode, and when they are bored, they can always find extra things to play at the Steam Workshop. The official release date of the game has not yet been announced, but we know that we can expect the game in the last quarter of this year on Windows and Linux. This was our top 5 suggestions of business simulation games that you should try in the last quarter of 2019. If we missed something or you disagree with our picks, comment down below, and of course, don't forget to subscribe for more videos such as this one. See you very soon. Bye.